have extra care packages left over, so I'm gonna go out on Friday around the community as well. So I just wanna thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart. Everything was great. They appreciated the food, the meal, the tears, the laughs, the prayers, and all of that good stuff. So it wouldn't be possible without you guys, so I thank you for that. But my other bucket fill is I thank Alex, because Alex made my husband's birthday a success, because he let us use tickets he wasn't using for his Bucks game on Sunday, so we did at least get to go to the Bucks game, and we won even though we sucked this season.
All right, that's awesome.
We actually lost.
No, we won the game I was at, Charlie.
I know, but we
But
want them to
you
lose to improve their lottery.
He's looking for he was looking big picture.
I don't know about any of that either. All right. Yes.
I just want to call out Jeremy Reinders. I was able to take a couple of stress-free weeks off recently, and Jeremy just carried all my clients for me. And
I love
that's
that.
why I joined the team that I did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's
Congratulations. Let's go. Nice plug there. All right, somebody else had a hand. Dawn.
Just to thank you for Gustavo, John, and Lynn, who've all come to visit PC in the last couple weeks to share some info about, like, for new agents about
Love that.
lending procedures and title stuff. So
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to keep plugging along. So we have 3 new welcomes that we'd love to congratulate for joining our office, Muhammad, Amber, and David. So welcome and congratulations. And then Marcia Luckett, she was new with us as well from Coldwell, and she just recently graduated from PC program. All right, guys, I'm sure you've seen the advertisements going around on social media, but we have a career night that Shania is hosting on April 23rd from 6 to 7 here at the office. This is your opportunity to share it out on social media everywhere. We've been posting it in the Facebook groups and the email. Try to get as many people as you can to come. I know Royce is typically good for 1 or 2 people each time, so this is a chance to build your downline and to get that profit share check coming to you. May is KW Cares month, so obviously we have Red Day coming up in May, so we have more slides for that. But KW Cares legacy will be through Keller Williams. We want to make sure that you guys scan this to donate. If you ever have any questions about KW Cares or Red Day, let us know. I see a few of you with cameras, so I'll give it 1 second. And then for Red Day here, we are doing Bridge to Brighter, Souls for Jesus. There is a wait list for Souls for Jesus. That one is already filled up. Emmanuel MKE, Camp Whitcomb Mason, and Courage MKE. We have had a few questions as to why we're not doing Zacharias Acres this year. It's just because we've had such a need and requests from other branches that they're trying to spread us out into other communities. I've heard some really good things about Camp Whitcomb. Do you know anything additional about it, Charlie?
Yeah,
okay.
First of all, I'd say 134 people registered after week 1, which is amazing. Usually it's like we get a ton of people to register the week before, not the first week. Bridge to Brighter is call it a transition home for kids who age out of the foster care system. Souls for Jesus is shoes, package them up. I don't know enough about Emmanuel MK to make a comment there. Camp Whitcomb Mason is out in the Lake Country area, very close to Zacharias Acres, and the work would be very similar to Zacharias Acres. Camp Whitcomb Mason is a little history for you. The oldest camp owned by the Boys and Girls Club in their entire network across the country. Truth be told, on Zacharias Acres, they didn't do anything. We were there for 5 years and thought we would expose people to other organizations in need. And if everyone's like, we love going to see Terry at Zacharias Acres, great, we can do it again next year. We just thought maybe a diversity of who we support was good. Just a thought. And then Courage MKE provides safe harbor for teens and young adults in the LGBTQ plus community. So 134 people registered. I think it's personally, I can say, I think it's one of the best days of the year that we do because you get to know the people around you. You give where you live, and I always say the joy of the giver is the gift. The gift of the giver is the joy you get in return. So,
Love that.
yeah.
So make sure you guys get signed up and get your t-shirt ordered. Regional Facebook pages, we've had a few requests as to how you can get on the calendar. So if you're not already getting the emails, which you should be, from the region about events that they are hosting, This is the public one, and this is the internal one. So you guys can scan these QR codes, and you can download the calendars directly to your Gmail calendar and get signed up for them. So I see a bunch of phones out, so I'll give you guys just a second. Yeah, good? All right. Oh, I'll go back. Nope.
I'll post these later too.
Yep, we will post them for you guys as well. All right, KW Inclusion and Belonging Fair Housing Summit is April 23rd at 10 a.m. So again, QR code, we will get all of these posted for you in the Facebook group as well. And then KW Young Professional Summit is happening May 28th through the 30th. Early bird tickets are $107.17. This is for typically 30 and under. So this is a huge thing.
This last year, I'm old as hell.
Yeah, you don't have to be 30 and under. You can totally go to it. Dawn's going to come up and speak for a quick second about Team Stallé Run.
Oh, I'm coming up to speak. Here we go. It's fine. It's cool. I'm used to this.
Got to get your steps in.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm running a marathon in June. It's my first marathon. I'm not. There's other people in this office that I know have run marathons, but I'm running for a charity. It's Grandma's Marathon in Duluth, Minnesota. I am not a grandma. That's not. It's just the name of it. So it's a charity that focuses on the connection between mental health and movement. So they do a lot with scholarships for people who are just getting started in their movement journey. They have ambassadors throughout the country. They have run clubs throughout the country. So it's not just running, but it's just that general movement. And so I have a goal of 60 unique donors. You already donated, Arnie, I know, so thank you for that. So don't donate it again, because it's 60 unique donations. And so I'm at, I think, 15 right now. So thank you to everybody who's donated. And then every dollar helps, so it doesn't have to be a huge amount either. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And we'll post this out in the Facebook group as well for you guys. All right, Joe, come on up. Yeah, and Jay, come on down. Do you want me to go to the next slide?
Sure.
He can say his spiel.
Yeah, let
while
me
these
see.
are going.
So a couple of weeks ago, Joe came up and talked about what he does here. And you guys, I think everybody knows I'm a senior specialist, and I deal with last-time home sellers is what we call them, because they're going to assisted living and whatnot. So I had a lady in mind when this happened. Her name was Judy, 88 years old, in Muskego, all alone. She had 2 kids, one in Brooklyn, one she hasn't seen in 20, 25 years, just took off, a broken family, and she doesn't know where her son is. So she fell and she broke vertebrae in her neck, and I saw her, she was no TV, she was sitting in a lazy boy chair looking straight ahead when I met her, and told me about her house, her driveway that she had put in, asphalt. She was so proud of it. She had a car in the garage. She had just 6 years ago, she had tires put on it, and they parked it in the garage, and she fell down and never came out of the garage again. So I opened the garage door for the first time in 6 years, and the spider webs were there, but I took pictures of it. We got the car disposed of. She had, next to the driveway before they asphalted it, she had a beautiful garden there. And she cried a couple times that she wanted one more Christmas in the house. So,
Yeah, you're gonna make me cry.
yeah, no, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
But Lynn and Joe and Lisa, I'm talking about Red Day. Every day is Red Day. We're always serving. That's the way I look at it. We're always serving, going above and beyond. So after Joe was here last time, I told him the story about Judy, and he's going through it with your mom too, with assisted living and everything right now. Lynn went there and met her, met at Layton Terrace and had the paperwork signed. She just wanted one more thing out of the house, was a 100-and-something-year-old bread bowl that her mom gave her 90-something years ago or whatever it was. And we had the clean-out guys going, and I saw them rolling a trash can, and I saw this big bowl on top. And I said, I grabbed it and I brought it to her, and that happened to be the big bread bowl that she was waiting for. But what Joe did with what I told him about her and her house, just picture this house, she had it sided, she had the asphalt driveway put in, she wanted one more Christmas, she loved her garden. I told Joe, he took the picture off of MLS, we went there and made a little video, 15 seconds or whatever it is, of presenting his drawing, painting to Judy at Leighton Terrace. So you can take it from there, but it was, I can say I got a big hug and a big kiss on the cheek. So
this is the picture
yeah,
that they gifted her with. And
I think that
Yeah,
empty slide before, right there. There should be
There we
something
go.
in there.
Yes, it is, and it's upside down.
It's be harder to tell what it is.
Joe wrapped it too good.
Yeah.
Oh, my house. Oh, look at that. You did this? That's good, huh?
Isn't that beautiful?
That is so nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you are quite welcome.
Oh, that's beautiful. Mom, we're gonna just like.
She texted me that night, the daughter, I still have tears in my eyes, she said. This is, and she's putting it right in front of her on the wall. And I said, I wish he had a little bell he heard every time. It warmed her heart when she looked at it. But she put it right there on the wall, so she can't turn her head, and she's going to be looking at his painting all the time. So you can talk about that.
Yeah.
So that was just
if you're
wonderful.
going to
I
go
thought it was
back
beautiful.
one, if it's possible.
right there.
Go the other direction, one more. So a little bit about what I do. I thought when I started this, it was just going to be, something to get me out of the house more or to help put food on my family's table, but it turned into a little bit more than that. So if you guys are thinking about ordering, what I realized was we need more stories. These are not just transactions, obviously, you guys know that, but exceptional agents, which I think all of you guys are, they do all of these things, but the biggest one is they connect to their clients on a human level. And all I want to do is help them remember you guys as that human connection. And sometimes it's, the last human connection in the real estate industry. So
The legacy worth leaving.
yeah. So thank you guys.
Love that. Yeah.
Back to the picture.
Yeah.
Would you just talk a little bit about the one of the house that you drew?
Oh, sure.
Will you just talk about the details that you put
Yeah.
in the photo?
So when he told me some of the story, and then I looked at the MLS, I was like, oh, the MLS picture, it sold the house, but it didn't tell the story. And when I heard all the things,
Oh,
and
the
I said-
Christmas tree is in there.
Right. And so
You're gonna make me cry.
we did a couple of things. So I went to Google, which is amazing, and I pulled up the year that they actually had a garden, like her and her husband. Her husband was still alive, and the house looks different. It looks like a home. So I tried to put that into the picture, and I put the garden back in, and I put the new driveway in, and then I brought the car out of the garage.
99 Ford Escort wagon.
99 Ford Escort wagon. And then she wanted that Christmas, so I put the Christmas tree in the window.
The
and
last
she'll always
Christmas
have
tree.
Christmas.
Oh,
So,
that's really special.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you.
All right, guys, education and events. Just want to make sure you guys have all of this information to build a team. Agents never want to leave with Chase and Jenny. So make sure you guys scan the QR code if you guys are interested in doing that. And then our April calendar, this has all been emailed out to you guys. You should also have subscriptions to it in your Gmail if you don't already. We can help you with that. A lot of big classes coming up. Make sure you guys are available. Productivity coaching has a lot going on for April, so keep yourself organized. All about condos, command tech and special guest, and then lead generation workshops. And then, I don't know if you guys have seen this, we've had a couple advertisements and emails going out about it. Swap Till You Drop, they're hosting this at Silver Spring Drive at the Whitefish Bay office, so just make sure if you guys are interested in that, you're bringing clothes that you're wanting to swap out with the other agents, business attire and so on. So it's a free event, and you guys are you're going to register, but you can swap clothes with other agents. If you have stuff that's just sitting in your closet taking up space that you don't wear anymore, go get something new that you would be interested in wearing with another agent. And we'll post that up on the Facebook group again. And then Leads to Loyalty with Stacy. This will be recorded. It is on Zoom. Hopefully you guys can all make it next Wednesday, April 15th at 10 a.m. So play this real quick.
Hey Milwaukee, it's Stacy Sauls. I'm out of Charlotte, North Carolina,
and I'm really excited to talk to you about our class. It's called From Leads to Loyalty. It's basically how we grew a repeat referral business. So we're going to share all of our tricks and insights with you that day. So I can't wait to see you guys there. Bring all your questions for me. I love questions, and I'll see you then.
All right. So spring 2026 guest speakers. April 15th, we have Stacy. On May 7th, Lucas Hine. They're going over GPS 4-in-1 and AI. May 19th, Marcus Green. That's a big event. AI from toy to tool to teammate. And then June 17th, Shane Nelson. Charlie, did you have anything to add on Marcus Green?
Marcus Green will be in person. A great way for you, depending, no matter where you are on your AI journey, of like how do we create efficiencies utilizing this tool. So it'll be May 19th here in Milwaukee, flying in from Salt Lake City.
Awesome.
Stacy also, they use Command.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, you're learning about how to run it out of a different platform for those of you that use Command. They run it at a very high level out of Command. So cool.
On 423, the region is putting on Brett Tanner, the Be Wealthy workshop. So that's available as well from 9:30 to 3 p.m. If you do need to get registered because space is limited on that one. So again, that previous QR code will repost it for you guys on how to get the regional calendar and all of their links. And then keep in mind, we have Camo Crew coming here on the 2nd of May. The Smart Plan has already been published for you guys. I've shown several of you how to go in and find it really quick and easily. But if you go into Smart Plans, just type in MKE, and then on the top right-hand corner, change that filter to newest. It'll be the first Smart Plan that pops up for you. It's already ready to go. This is a free event that you guys get to push out there like it is your event. So push it out to all of your clients in your pipeline. If you're not familiar with what eCamo or the Camo Crew does and eWaste, we will literally have 18-wheeler trucks out here in tents. Agents will sign up for shifts. They will come through kind of like drive-through style. They don't even have to get out of their vehicle. A lot of times they just say back door, pop open their trunk. The guys will actually unload everything, recycle the stuff, and it allows them to recycle anything with a cord. So again, it's a free event for your clients and family, so push it out to everyone you know. We had 127 cars come through last year, the last one we just did here. So really push it out. And then Brewed for Success. Did you want to say anything specific about it real quick, Tina?
Sure. So we have a Brewed for Success is our investment group that we started with Santi and the Jaspersons. So we're doing a 4-part series, high-level investment strategies techniques. We had our first event about a month ago, and from that we learned that from the 45 to 50 people in the room, we learned that a lot of people really wanted like a 101 class, like really starting from complete basic, like what is ROI, what's a good ROI, what's a cap, what's a good cap rate, things like that. So on May 6th, we are going to hold a 1-day workshop that's going to literally go through the entire life cycle of investment, starting right from the very beginning. You don't know anything, all the way to the end, that you should be able to leave with some really actionable items of things that you can do moving forward if you want to either become investors, work with investors, or at least have more knowledge when you are working with somebody who wants to move into that market. So we have a great sponsor. Mach 1 is a hard money lender, came in and gave us money for lunch and breakfast. So it's from 8:30 to 4, space is limited, and it also isn't just for real estate agents. So feel free to invite your clients or other agents that you might know. Where is it held? It is held in this room.
Here.
So,
yeah. And it was a great turnout last time, and we had really great responses from it. So
yeah, and just from the 101 standpoint, I think it'll be a very popular class.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, guys, we have a spring hunger relief drive happening. So if you want to sign up, you can get customized flyers. This is for the Hunger Task Force, so easy way to bulk up your 36-touch plan. And they have virtual giving as well, so make sure you guys sign up. We will post this in the Facebook group and email it out as well. And then marketing tech and updates. Of course, I know some of you have already been talking about it, but we have Battle of the Vibes going on. So I know in here we've already got Danian, let's see, Level Up. Yeah?
Yeah, it goes in there.
Oh yeah, on the left-hand side. So Guys, keep the videos going. If you guys need any more information about this, let us know. But this is just round 1, so we're super excited for it. Mary Beth is up against Annie. Bianca is up against Randy Lee. So you need to vote. So videos will be posted at KW Realty MKE Instagram stories. Make sure you guys are going on and voting for your favorites. Support.
Voting will be up on Friday?
Friday.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so the Market Center in your pocket and on the web. Make sure you guys are using the app. So if you'll scan it, if you're not already in it, updates from peers are in here, AI powered to answer your hard-hitting questions on the go, 24/7 access to the listing network, direct messaging with agents across offices. I often get asked for phone numbers for other agents in the office. It's probably the #1 text I get from you guys is, can you send me so-and-so's contact information? You actually have access to the entire roster for all offices inside the MKE app. So please make sure you're utilizing it.
I've tried looking people up and they weren't in there. How come that is? Is it only people that have signed up for the app already?
No, the full roster should be in there.
Okay.
Shoot me a text next time if there's somebody that you're looking up and they're not showing up in there, and then we'll get them to fix it and update it.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so basically prefer a bigger screen, same power, more space, scan and bookmark today, full access to resources, training. Everything is in here. They've done a really good job in building out the app and all that it can do. So you can utilize it not just from your phone as well. And then if anyone in here or anyone you know, will post this in the Facebook group, speaks other languages or has a hidden talent or knows ASL, we ask that you scan this. We've had a lot of requests lately for just random languages, and so we'd love to be able to create a master list on our roster to be able to say, hey, we have these 27 languages presented in the office, and that way when you need a referral, you'll have access to it quick and easy. All right, and we'll post that again. Did you get it, Gustavo? Okay. All right, compliance real quick, and then Charlie is up.
Okay, I sent out an email to everyone, but just as a reminder, MLS updated the delayed form again for the 2nd time this year. So apologies if anyone missed that. They don't tell us when they do. We just discover it because all of a sudden you get a nasty gram from MLS and I get copied on it. So, so use the correct form. I did put the correct form in all the zip forms folders, but it is not a fillable form. That one hasn't been officially updated yet. It's just a PDF, so you're gonna have to drop the boxes on it until zip forms updates with the latest form. And then some people have been noticing, and actually Tanya pointed this out to me, when you go into zip forms and you send an amendment for signature and DocuSign, the signature blocks are optional.
Counteroffer too.
And counteroffer too. So this, what happens is your people are missing signing things. It's easy to miss, but what you can do is there is a little checkbox. You can check the box before you send it out to signature, and that will make that a required field so they don't accidentally miss it. So that's the workaround to fix that. There's nothing I can do on my end. These are all WRA forms, so I can't edit them to make them required fields for you.
You'll notice the box is a different color too.
Yes,
white
it's
versus
white
the
instead of a colored
I
box.
always change that because I did get something back and it wasn't.
You'll see
signed.
the date on it, but no signature.
Yep.
Cause I had a question real quick on like the delayed form with all those initial boxes, like they're coming back to me and like 2 of them were initials and the rest words, and I'm like, what? Like, and the guy said I wouldn't allow him to initial those other boxes. I'm like, I have to send it back to him.
Yeah, that's
a hassle.
It's a pain in the butt.
So that will help.
If you make it a required field.
Yeah, they won't be able to send it back to you without hitting all the boxes.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can make initials, you can make signature blocks required.
And on the counter offer, it will automatically put the initials for like countering sometimes.
Yeah.
So like.
And on the amendment
on
too.
The amendment, so just delete whichever ones you're not using and then hit require.
Yep. So just be aware with amendments and counter offers, you can't just like put it in and send it off. You have to do some work to it before you send it off to your clients. And then just a couple of notes, we're in a real, hot market again. So a couple of reminders, be sure to include brokerage information on all your advertising and social media posts. Open houses and showings. If you feel like you're going to have a large crowd, if this is a hot property, hot area, it's probably a good idea to bring a helper. Be present and actively aware of the attendees. You know, make sure that you can see them coming and going to the best of your ability. I mean, if you're there and you're flooded, you know, there's only so much you can do. But the contract you sign with the seller, there is a window in there for negligence. So if you're not keeping an eye on what's going on inside the house, just be aware that if something happens that, you know, there could be some risk there.
Mark said it best this morning in his open house class too. Like, you guys signed up to be the listing agent to protect their home. So just remember that, please.
Right. Buyer love letters are back. As a reminder, you do not, as a listing agent, you do not have to present them unless they are referenced in the offer. So it is, you know, it is not something you must do. Please be aware of fair housing violations, especially if you're assisting buyers. You cannot assist in writing these letters, and just, you know, you may want to have the conversation with your buyer that if, you know, especially they're putting pictures on there, they're disclosing certain information, or, you know, like, you know, there
religious
could be,
comments.
exactly. So there could be risk of a complaint, a fair housing violation. So just be careful with these. Do not help people write them. You don't have to present them unless they're referenced.
Yes.
So if you have a buyer, ask about writing a letter. I normally advise them fair housing, say, you know, you can't include any of these, and I just reference, you know, the fair housing where it actually lists all the things that you're not supposed to. I don't assist them, but that's okay, right? To like inform them of what,
just talked about
or
this
should I
yesterday.
not be, or should I not say anything? Like I want to make sure I'm staying above board.
Yeah, I don't want people editing these letters and being like a letter editor. I don't think it's a bad idea to
guide,
to let people know, like, these are, you know, fair housing is a thing. You know, there can be a risk of violating it.
Yep.
And that's about all you can say.
Sounds good.
If a buyer directs you to attach their letter to the offer to purchase, then you have to do it.
Yeah.
But be careful. And then just everybody slow down, double check your work so you can get paid on time, because, you know, silly little mistakes happen when you're moving so fast in this market. And then there's our number again to call us and text us at any time.
All right, Charlie, you're up.
All right. You want to know what's going on in the market?
Yep.
Love it. Feel free to spit it out, ask questions. I'm going to go macro to go micro. Okay? Because there's a lot of things going on that you're probably likely getting questions to. And I want to help you understand it in a way that you can articulate it very clearly so that you come from a place of competence that gives your clients confidence. Does that make sense? In geopolitical climates like ours, where there's a lot of uncertainty, people are seeking your insight and your value to give them confidence in order to take action. And if they don't have confidence, guess what happens? They don't take action. Okay? So I took a little bit of a different spin on the market update this month to help you go big to go small. So I talked about this maybe a month ago, and there was a really good question actually from this group that said, hey, what happens to home appreciation during times of geopolitical conflict? I said, well, we don't know what the future holds. We can only look back to see what happened in history. So I went back and said, all right, at 2001, something happened, you know, September 11th happened that ensued a long-term global war. And what happened to price appreciation in the successive 5 years? It grew. In 2021, Russia invaded Ukraine. By the way, I just want to preface all of this by saying none of these are political statements. These are just taking facts that are happening in our world. Your people are dealing with the facts, and we have to help them navigate it. Make sense? Okay, 2021, Russia invaded Ukraine, created a lot of geopolitical uncertainty. What was going to happen? What happened to the real estate market? The successive 5 years, it went up. It's still going up. Here's what you need to know. During times of uncertainty, people take capital and look to put it into safe and stable assets. one of the most safe and stable assets that people can put their money into is real estate. Talking point number one, what's going to happen with what's going on in the Middle East again? I don't know for certain. I can only share with what I know and what has happened in the past. And in the past, during times of uncertainty, people put their money towards safe and stable assets, which is what has driven appreciation of values during times of uncertainty of geopolitical conflict. There you go. That's the slide. Cool? Sweet. Second piece of it. We've had an interesting ride over the last 90 days as it relates to rates. And I've gotten a lot of questions of like, why did we have a spike? Here's the second piece that you can talk about as it relates to what's going on in the Middle East right now. Oil and mortgage rates are tied. And when oil moves, mortgages move. When oil goes down, guess what happens? Mortgages go down. Here's a very simplistic way of showing this visually. The light blue line is the price of oil. The purple line is the mortgage rates. Mortgage rates always follow oil. The reason why, oil is a global economic need. The fleece, Sheila, that you are wearing requires oil to build. The plastic cup from Starbucks requires oil to make. The car, everyone thinks about it as the car or the gas tank. The truth of the matter is, inflation is directly tied to the price of oil. So that when oil goes up, the plastic carton that holds your grape tomatoes, guess what happens to that cost of grape tomatoes? It goes up. Your fleece goes up. Mortgages and the Fed use mortgage rates as an inflationary insurance policy. So what do I mean by that? When oil goes up, inflation goes up, and the way they counteract inflation, they raise rates. When you have deflationary times, when oil goes down, like the price of your gas at the gas tank, who remembers this back in 2020, 2021, when mortgages were at 2.8%, what was the price of your gas? It was like $1.80, right? So you just have to understand that oil is a part of every part of our lives outside of just our car, and that oil does drive the price of a lot of other consumer goods, products, and services, and mortgage rates are the way they pull on that lever to counterbalance inflationary measures. Make sense? Cool. So, lesson number 2, as oil goes, mortgages go. It's a way they counteract inflation. Cool? Because you're going to get a lot of these questions as people talk about the Strait of Hormuz and what's going on with oil and why does this matter to the real estate market? It matters because of mortgage rates. 3, we are in a vastly divergent market right now across the U.S., and you have to be the voice of reason within your communities for the people that you serve. Here's why. The yellow line is the geographic listing inventory across the South and the West. And the light blue line is the Northeast and Midwest. What do you notice?
We're way higher over the median line.
Well, we're way different than what is going on in parts of the country that everyone wants to talk about. Interestingly enough, we saw a lot of migration post-COVID with remote work down into the South and to the West. Guess what happened in the success of 3 or 4 years? 1, companies started calling people back to work, and 2, there was a higher incidence rate of natural disasters. Hence, why we're in divergent markets. We're in a very safe and stable market, and inventory still remains very suppressed across the Midwest. Why is that so? There's 3 reasons. Low incidence rate of natural disasters. We have not had the impact of insurance premiums that they have seen in places like Florida. And a high incidence rate of natural and fresh water. You're seeing that. That's why all the data centers are popping up along the 94-43 corridor. So the reason I bring this up is threefold. 1, you're going to get a lot of questions. What happens with what's going on in the world today? Is there anything I need to be concerned about? No. Prices go up during times of conflict because of uncertainty, and people look for certainty. Real estate's a safe and stable asset. 2, what's going to happen with rates? I'm not certain, yet we can follow oil because oil typically drives what happens in mortgage rates. Okay? And 3, don't listen to your friends who just wintered in Florida or are paying attention to the headlines, because the headlines in geographical areas aren't the headlines that we need to be articulating in our geographical headlines. Make sense?
Yes.
Those are 3 macro trends that every agent should be paying attention to. Now, you want to go micro? Let's talk about southeastern Wisconsin. Total inventory in the first quarter of this year versus last year was up 2.8%. When you look at it versus quarter 1 of 24, it was up 7%, and when it was versus 23, it was up 14.6%. Okay? The tide is rising. My prediction was 21 and 22 was the absolute bottom of our industry. Okay? That's proving to be true as we start to come out. There's a variety of reasons for it, which I'll explain here shortly. But total inventory has grown consistently in quarter 1 markets of the past 3 years. However, inventory still remains tight, as we know this, as velocity has remained consistent. New inventory units. The reason inventory has gone up is because new inventory has gone up, and there's a variety of reasons for it. New inventory has grown consistently in Q1 over the past 3 years because rate unlock continues to alleviate new inventory, and the time in the market of life events continues to occur. Okay? Here's a cold, hard truth that is absolutely undefeated. As people, death, divorce, job change, household change, families, kids, all these things will continue to happen. As life events continue to happen, there will be things that will happen in people's lives that will be rate independent. Someone gets a divorce, someone is moving from, I don't know, Milwaukee to New York. Like, things will happen, which is why you're starting to see the unlocking and the alleviation of the pressure we felt when everyone was sitting on a 2.8% interest rate. Okay? Part of it's just being in the market in time, and that's why you're starting to see inventory continuously growing. The good news as it relates to our market, I'll go back to this, is that demand hasn't changed. So while inventory has increased, demand hasn't changed. Okay? So demand was stagnant in Q1 of 23 and 24, and it is now increasing in 26, which is a positive sign and likely correlative to the rate decreases that we felt in the first 90 days of the year. Okay? Now, here's an interesting thing, and then I'll go back to expired units. And yet, days on market has increased. So while demand hasn't changed and inventory has increased, days on market has also increased, and here's my caveat to that. The reason it's important to help you understand is the market that we operated in terms of the velocity in 21, 22, and 23 was not healthy. It was too fast, okay? And it was not sustainable. So the days on market increases are actually healthy increases to allow the market to breathe like a wine. Like, you got to get a house to the market to allow the market to see it in order for the value to really be shown. That's not a bad thing. This would be concerning if days on market were going up, but units going under contract was going down, because then you'd know we'd have demand softness. That's not the case here. And the reason why I know that it isn't, that it is starting to balance out in terms of what is healthy from a velocity standpoint is expired listing inventory has actually decreased. And so what that's telling me is listing agents are being better at articulating what's going on in the market, but also, 2, clients are being more patient than they were in 25 and 24. Like, well, Sally sold her house, put her house on sale on Thursday, and by Friday night she had $100,000 over asking, and I want the same thing, and she only did it 12 months ago. You're like, yeah, but that's not the same market we're operating in today. Expired listings going down, despite the fact that days on market are going up, are telling us that clients are now understanding of the operating of the environment as it relates to listings. Make sense? Cool. 3 units that are going under contract are directly correlative to the new inventory unit. So new inventory was up 3%, units going under contract is up 4%. Effectively, when we know that demand hasn't changed, the more inventory we bring to market, the more actual transactional units we'll be able to do. Okay? Simply put, and I put the new units right under unit under contract so you can see how correlative they are. Now, take all of this into account, and here's your equation. New inventory has gone up. demand has actually increased because the rate environment in the last 90 days improved. So it got more people engaged. And the velocity in terms of people transacting also increased. What happens in that environment? Prices go up. So the people always come to you and the first thing they want to know is what's going on with pricing, correct? Even if they're not wanting to transact, it's an incredible slide. Averages this year, just over last year, are up 6%, but when you compare it versus quarter one of 23, they're up 21%. When you look at the median, we are up 5.8% versus last year, up 24% versus 2023. And when you look at a very static measure of price per square foot, we are up 5% versus last year across the entire Q1, and we're up 29% versus 2023. So when people come to you and say, and this is the actual factual data that backs up the phrase that I use often, did I buy at the top of the market? The answer in reply you have is no. You never buy at the top of, you might be buying at the top of the moment, but never at the top of the market. Because if you think back in 21, 22, and 23, how many of your buyers said, God, I hope I'm not buying at the top of the market, God. And then you look at this and say, geez, you got a 29% increase on your appreciation over the last 2 or 3 years. Point being is, this is where you can come with confidence to say, the metrics in southeastern Wisconsin are very healthy. Demand is very healthy. Homes are continuing to appreciate. If you need to move, allow me to help you navigate the complexities of what that looks like. And in doing so, you should know that your home is going to continue to appreciate. Make sense? Sweet. Yes, Sheila.
Do you have any information on FSBOs or how many houses are trying to sell by FSBO? Because I have a client who wants to do it, and we're having discussions on why that's not a good choice for her.
Will you take a note and send me? I'll get you the data. Here's what I know nationally. Last year, it was the lowest incidence of FSBOs across the U.S. I think it was like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like right around 8%.
You showed it in the recap from Family Reunion. The FSBOs were in there. It was like a teeny tiny number.
And I feel like I saw it somewhere, but
I'll send it to you. FSBOs, the problem is the complexities of the market and the speed of the market just are, it's not conducive to a FSBO right now. The other thing, and I can do the data for you.
Yeah, so is there a percentage, like how much more an agent would get over like selling it yourself?
Yeah, I think the industry standard is right around 13%. Utilizing an agent nets a client 13% more than a FSBO would do on their own. You know, and so then the argument is, well, then I'm not paying a commission. Yeah, but the delta on paying, commissions are negotiable. That's my caveat. But the delta on paying someone 3% to list my home or 3.6% to list my home, and you're willing to give up 13%, the math does not math.
Yeah.
I can get you that info.
Okay.
Perfect. What else? Any other questions? No? Okay. I'm going to jump into 2 more things for you quickly before we break, because there's something going on in the industry that that is impacting all of you. You just don't know it. Okay. You guys heard about the Zillow preview? Okay, here, can I just draw you a really quick picture on why this is happening? This is more internal discussion. I don't think your clients, quite frankly, unless they're really paying attention to industry news, like, they really won't care, but you should pay attention to what's going on. There's a war going on in our industry, okay? And there's 3 factors at play. And the war's been going on for some time. It's just never come into the light of how it impacts us as agents. You have MLSs. You have what I call portals. This is like Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Trulia, so on and so forth. And then you have large companies. And the agent is sitting right in the middle who controls the relationship to the listing. And everyone is trying to get access to the listing. Because the listing is actually, the information about the listing is actually what drives the portals. But the listing about the information is also what drives the MLSs. And the companies are trying to get more control over their data as it relates to the listing because they're trying to drive revenue. And so what's happening is we, all of us, are at the center of this war, this tug of war, where everybody's trying to tug on the agent and the listing to get their influence on where the listing should sit first to gain access to it. Does that make sense? This war has been going on for about 10 years. It's just now coming to the light. Make sense? Here's the honest to goodness truth. The portals want to put the MLSs out of business, and the companies are fighting with the MLSs over what have become overly regulatory. We have felt this in Milwaukee. And yet, the companies don't trust the portals, and the portals want to abolish the companies. Make sense? This is like my oversimplified way of trying to explain it to a third grader. So, Compass does this deal with Anywhere that acquires economies of scale to listing inventory to control data. Okay, that's why they did the deal. And so in response to it, let's just call it for what it is, Compass started suing all the MLSs and they started suing all the portals. In response to that, the portals said, all right, we'll go do a deal with all these other companies and we'll try and control the listing inventory as a mitigating response move. Okay? Where do we sit in all of it? We're just pawns in a much bigger game that none of us have control over. Okay? Which is somewhat unsettling, but also just we only can control what we can control, right? Long story short, KW goes and does a deal with Zillow. You can see here Zillow is the largest portal as it relates to home buyer and seller information. Like, it was a great insurance policy that KW said, all right, we have to counteract what's going on. How do we do it? Let's just go partner with the largest one. Okay? I'll tell you, here's what it means for you. In our local market, for those of you that use delayed listings, how many use delayed? Basically, this is your opportunity to syndicate your delayeds in a way that our MLS didn't allow before. Does that make sense? So before, you took a delayed listing, at max you could put it in for 21 days. That listing didn't live anywhere other than the MLS, and agents had to go source the information to provide to their clients. And we made the argument, like, why aren't we just syndicating all this? Jeremy Reinders, to his credit, was a huge component of this on the GMAR years ago. So in our market with delayed listings, the only thing that changes is you have an opportunity now to be able to syndicate that information. Mind you, I'll also tell you as a listing agent, your job is to make sure that your listings have babies. How do you do that? You put it into delayed, you market the hell out of it before it goes live, and that your goal in having every listing should have 2 babies. You should have a referral from the client who you serviced, where you provided excellent service and value to, and you should generate an organic piece of business based on your pre-market strategy in order to generate another piece of business. All of you should be tracking this as it relates to the listings you take and how do you generate 2 listings, or 2 pieces of business out of it. All of your listings should have babies. This is a part of that strategy. Now, what does it mean for you and how does it impact you? First, during the time of delayed status, the only agent on the Zillow preview platform will be the listing agent. Interestingly, how Zillow turned heel and they went from trying to fight with listing agents to intercept the listing agent to leaning into your listing, your lead. Okay? And during the preview period, if a client reaches out to learn more about information, it goes to the listing agent. 2, another important fact of what is in this for me as a listing agent, you do not aggregate your days on market, nor during the delayed status, nor do you aggregate price history. So it allows you to test the market in terms of where your price is, and if you need to adjust your price, it doesn't impact your statistics as a listing agent. Hint, hint, if you didn't know this, the best listing agents are competing and telling their story around what their days on market are, what their list price to sales price ratio is, and what their pricing history is. It's the way that they get in and sell their services before they create competition. So this allows you the opportunity to test price without being dinged in those metrics. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Cool. I'll pause there really quickly for questions. I'm giving you what's in it for me is really what I'm trying to show you. Cool? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So we're not in an MLS-driven market. We're in a multi-channel competitive ecosystem. Your job as the listing agent is to understand the options, educate your sellers, and strategically choose how each listing goes to market. Make sense? In our ecosystem, this is nothing more than an enhanced strategy for your delayed listing strategy. So that as a listing agent, all of your listings should have 2 babies. Cool? Sweet. Now, here's the last thing I'll share with you and why this is important. I talked a little bit about Compass's play in terms of acquiring anywhere and why that matters, and it's an economies of scale game around listing inventory. I get questions often in my role of like, why is growth important and how does growth impact our experience as an agent within the KW community for the exact same reasons on a much smaller scale. Economies of scale in the listing game, those who control the listing inventory are the market makers. Your voice and opinions of how the market operates and is shaped is impacted based on your market share position. So I just looked at this knowing that we were going to be talking about this and said, all right, where did we sit after Q1 of 2026? As a total community, KW community, we're sitting at 16% listing inventory, and we're growing. We have to grow because it's an insurance policy from an economies of scale standpoint in the portal wars and all of this stuff that, quite frankly, you guys don't need to care about, but it's a strategy we have to employ as an insurance policy to help in how this navigates our market in southeastern Wisconsin. Does that make sense? And you want to continue to grow so that your influence on how the market is being shaped it matters. Cool? Yeah. Last thing I'll share with you. I get this question a lot. Like everyone, who wants to increase their average price point in the next year? Everybody does, right? And this chart I've been building for the last several years. I've been found it to be very effective in helping people break through in different price points. And so I always pull the luxury statistics as well. You lead with luxury because from a strategy standpoint, from a brokerage, luxury is always aspirational, correct? Like everyone aspires to be a luxury listing agent. If you could sell 1 home versus 10 homes, it's just you're making more money for less work. So part of our strategy is just leading with luxury from that standpoint because it also helps us drive scale. So far through Q1 of 2026, KW as a community has sold 1 in every 3 homes in southeastern Wisconsin in the luxury space. I helped an agent who had never listed a $2 million home last week. They won a $2 million listing in Elm Grove. They had never done it before. And their entire story was you're listing with a community, and the likelihood of me selling it within my community is higher than anywhere else of those that I am competing with. And here's our metrics. And we talked about days on market, list price to sales price ratio, so on and so forth. And my point to it is in encouraging you from an aspirational standpoint to continuing to break through price barriers is use the collective community's impact in helping you achieve new heights from a pricing perspective. Cool? Sweet. And there are the trend lines to show you that like economies of scale are important in this game. There's a lot of factors at play that are going on behind closed doors, and from a brokerage standpoint, growth is vitally important because economies of scale is a great insurance policy and protection for all of us as it relates to what's happening and things that we cannot control. So I would much rather be in the driver's seat during all these, during all these conversations in southeastern Wisconsin than having to hitch my tail onto something else. Make sense? Helpful? Love it. All of this is available to you on the KW Realty MKE website. It's available to you on the app. We'll upload this, the Q1 recap for you, and hopefully I gave you some macro talking points about what's going on in the world. And I gave you some talking points of what's going on locally in southeastern Wisconsin and helping you guys navigate how to win in this market. Cool? Cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jeremy. Happy to help. You guys have a great day.
All right, buyers and sellers needs. What do you guys got? Go to the next slide. We unmuted it at the beginning.
Oh, got it.
Does anyone have any? Go ahead, Tanya.
So
say who you are, what you're with, and where
Tanya
you.
Nozwicki, Connected Real Estate.
And where did
we
you
have
get the
a-
lead from?
Oh, I don't know. This is Monica's.
Okay.
So I don't know on this one.
That's all right.
I think it was a referral for a friend kind of thing.
Okay.
So she has it coming up. It's going to get into the lead. It's going to showings are going to start on 4/17. It's mid 500s. It's a single family home in McWanago, and it's got 3.5 car garage, 3 beds, 2 baths. And then it's got an exposed basement as well, but it's not a finished basement, but it's studded out for it.
Okay.
And then for myself, I have listings coming up in Green Bay and Appleton mid-May. So if anyone has buyers up there, let me know. I also work up there as well, so if you guys have any referrals, I can absolutely help you that way as well.
All right. Awesome. Go ahead, Sheila. Oh.
Tanya.
Tanya.
Yep.
Sheila Smith, Team Smith, Wisconsin. We have a delay listing. It's on the market today, and it is in Brookfield Ranch, large ranch. It's like with lower level included, it's like 3,500 square feet, 3 large bedrooms. It is. They've redone some things like new appliances, some new carpet. Some of it is a little outdated, but huge spaces. It's got, I think, 3 garage spaces. It's on the market for $499. So 3 large bedrooms. It's got 1 full bath and then 2 half baths.
Where was that again?
In Brookfield.
All right.
Oh, how do I get the lead? This was a past client.
Past client referral. Okay. All right. Lisa?
Lisa Poglich, Level Up. I have a listing coming up in Richfield, Hubertus on Thursday. It's on 2.5 acres. It's a 2-story home. Has attached 3-car garage plus a bonus 2-car garage. It's in excellent shape. Kitchen is dated, but everything is super clean, like painted neutral. Main floor, primary suite, main floor laundry, finishable basement, 725. And then I have what'll bring to a multi-party opportunity. This is in St. Francis. If anyone knows St. Francis, there's a little pocket of houses. It's Trestle Creek. It's a little pocket of newer houses on Norwich and Koenig. People sit and wait to pounce on them, and I have one. So they prefer to do it this way first because they're having some insurance work done. So it's like they want the insurance work done before they would put it on the open market. So I am doing a multi-party listing, showing it one day only this Sunday. Price is $615, 3-bed, 2.5 bath, extra deep 2-car garage, about a 1/4 acre, 2014 built, one owner house. So see me if you want to get on the multi-party listing contract.
Awesome.
Oh, how did I get them? Sorry.
Yeah.
The Richfield one is a baby from my very first listing. It was a $25,000 short sale in Milwaukee, and now years later, I have a different member of the same family, the $725,000 house.
Heck yeah.
And it got me a listing in Jackson like last month too that ended up to be in the mid-4s, and a couple other pieces of business along the way. So treat your clients
equal,
excellently,
yeah.
whether it's 25,000 or whatever. And then my one party is a repeat client, and I originally met her through a mom's Facebook group.
Love that. Alex.
Alex Marca, Let's Go Realty Group. So I have one coming up most likely by the end of the month. It's a single family in Waukesha. It's a 3-1, the 2-car plus garage. A lot of updated stuff outside and inside. It's almost 1,000 square feet on the main floor, and then there's finished space in the basement, probably another 400 square feet for $315 list price.
Okay. Where'd you get the client?
There's a guy who used to play on one of my softball teams. So
Okay.
Sphere.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Yes.
I have 2 new listings coming up. One
Will you say your name so everyone here know?
I have one in West Bend coming up.
Okay.
Three-bed, 1.5 bath, ranch. It is being sold as is, but it's a pretty decent shape in my opinion. For $235, and that one was a cold call lead. And then I have a condo next week in Franklin, listing at $320, 2-bed, 2-bath, and that's a past client.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Sharice Jean Greco, Migrant Realty, filling in for Tony Jean Greco, who is homesick.
Aw.
So we have 3 listings going live this week. The first is going to be in Walker's Point on South 6th Street in Milwaukee. It's going to be listed for $249.9. There are 2 properties on this lot. The first house is a 4-1 and the second is a 2-1. So it's shotgun style. There is no garage, but that's going to go live on Thursday. And then we've got a cutie little single family in Bayview on California Avenue going live this Thursday for $249.9. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath, 2-bed, 1-bath, 1.5-car garage. Can't read my own handwriting. And we just did the entire bathroom in that, new kitchen flooring. All the hardwoods have been refinished, fresh paint, zhuzhing up the landscaping, and it's my cousin's house. So that's how I got that lead. And then the first one was, it's actually the previous Courage house. So
Okay.
those
Very
are
cool.
close friends of ours, and that's what that property is. And then we've got another single family home going live in New Berlin. It's going to be listed at $619.9. It's a 3-bed, 3-bath. It's over 2,400, almost 2,500 square feet, and it has a 2.5 attached car garage.
Which school?
Which school?
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that this was a Met too. It's a referral from one of our Mets.
Do you know what road it's on?
High Point.
High Point?
Mm-hmm.
That's
West.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need Eisenhower.
You need a new house?
Oh yeah, but I need Eisenhower. I need Eisenhower.
I got you.
Where's your first one? Where's the location of your first one?
That is in Walker's Point on South 6th Street.
Okay.
Awesome. Jay.
Okay, I have 5. Starting from east to west, 66 in Morgan, 3-bedroom ranch with a nice sunroom, no basement, $225. 89th right behind West Dallas Memorial, nice brick ranch, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, side drive. That's gonna be $300. 119th in Howard, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, beautiful home. That's gonna be $400. And then in Regal Manor West is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, gonna be $475. And then a 2-bedroom condo in Ridgefield for $250.
Regal Manor is you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's Eisenhower?
Yeah.
Let's talk. Do you need where he? Okay. Yes.
Tanika Allen with Vesco Realty. I have an investor special going live on Thursday on 40th and Hope.
Okay.
Really nice bones. It's partially gutted for the investor and everything, so that's all good. 3-bedroom, 1-bath. Room for additions for $95. And that is the brother of my current listing, so relationships is how I got that one. And I have an upcoming that'll be end of April, early May. 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 2 bonus rooms in the basement. One of them has an egress window but no closet, so I'm just calling it a bonus room. Natural fireplace, super cute. In the like 95th Fond du Lac-ish area, and I got that one because I door knocked 3 years ago. 3 years
Heck
ago
yeah.
I door knocked, so I'm excited about that one.
You should be.
because
That's
3
huge.
Years ago.
When it goes live, you gotta ring the bell.
Yes, absolutely.
What was the price on that?
$290.
So door knocking works. If you were in Mark's class this morning, door knocking works too. All right, anyone else? All right, guys, that's it then. That's a wrap. So thank you.